Welcome to another episode of the Greater Culture Podcast as we continue along with our Meet the Member series here. Today, excited to be joined by Jack and Anna Sawgraves, two of our staples here in the morning classes. So thanks so much for being a guest on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we got Claudette hanging out in the background too, so she might be piping in with some of her thoughts and opinions as the conversation unfolds. But love to get to know you both just a little bit more. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, so like Brett said, I'm Jack. This is my wife, Anna. We've got our 2-year-old Claudette behind the camera there. We've been coming to Greater Culture for a little over a year now. It's one of the highlights of our day, I would say, honestly.
Great way to start the morning.
Yeah. And it's awesome that you all get the opportunity then to do kind of the kid swap thing, because I know sometimes for parents and they're trying to figure out how do we navigate kids, Jack, you come to one class, Anna, you come to another class. Yeah. And so that's really helpful. And so let's go back before the Greater Culture Days. Talk to us a little bit about what you enjoy doing for health and movement and fitness and all the good things as you kind of navigated your own journey.
Yeah, I think we had both tried some form of CrossFit officially before. I had done one in Raleigh when I was in college, and then being a part of a university, it felt silly to pay for a membership when I had access to such a great gym. So then I just went off and did it myself, and we were doing more like Globo Gym style workouts. Then COVID came around and we got our own equipment, and we were doing back squats with trash cans as the weight rack.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just to get it in.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of doing our own workouts, and working out with each other was kind of our favorite thing to do. And then right before coming to Greater Culture, we had Claudette, and I was experiencing just a lot of postpartum depression and anxiety, and what was originally something that we looked forward to ended up being something that was put on the back burner for fitness.
Yeah.
And so we didn't enjoy it. I think excuses probably got the best of us, and that became something that we just didn't do as much as we wanted to.
Yeah.
So it was kind of, okay, we need to get back into it. We had it in our gym, but the couch being also at the other side of the house, excuses got the best of us.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so we've got a number of moms here, and it's fun to see how many kids we've got and all different ages. Did you work out during the pregnancy?
Yeah, we would walks are our favorite thing to do. So we were pretty consistent in just getting outside and walking and weightlifting throughout pregnancy. That was my primary thing. The lifting heavy, that was what I enjoyed, not the quick Metcon stuff like that. When I was by myself, that is not what I gravitated towards. So I still was lifting, but it wasn't consistent. Yeah. It was a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I got out of the routine that I had established for many years.
Yeah. And has similar routine for you then, kind of the way you enjoyed fitness in the garage?
Yeah, I mean, I've been lifting since high school, and was always part of a organized class. And I think after we graduated, we were part of Crunch Fitness and O2 Fitness, and it was kind of, we would show up, every other day. I was the type that I'd kind of do whatever I felt like that day. If I was tired, I'd go home. It was never anything super structured. So I think after having Claudette, we realized we need to take this a little more seriously than just kind of
show up.
Yeah.
What were some of your favorite things to do when you had the opportunity to go to an O2 or a Crunch Fitness? So you mentioned barbell and lifting. I mean, they got a lot of machines, a lot of free weights, a lot of things like that. But what was kind of the routine as you'd go through there on a day where you felt like going?
Well, I can tell you, I hated back. I was always, honestly, until CrossFit, I was very weak in my back. I was a bench guy.
Pulling things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually bench. I probably bench twice a week.
Yep.
Bench and curls.
That's it. So, I know. I feel like that's what we learn when you grow up as a high school or even a college athlete. It's you just do some bench, do some curls. You're good to go. Go play sports. It's all right. So that's what we end up doing.
Yeah.
What about you?
I honestly sometimes looked at CrossFit and looked at their daily workout and got the programming from there, or workouts that I had done in the past that I really liked. It was a lot of superset stuff. So do something and then do something right after. But I liked the heavier weight, the barbell movements for sure. As much as I could get that in was what I tried to stick to.
Yeah. And did you both play sports then growing up?
I played lacrosse.
Lacrosse?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a pretty, like, they didn't have that in the Midwest where I'm from, but it was like, oh, soccer and football had a baby, and, like, that's lacrosse. It's, like, crazy
Yeah.
amount of running that you had to do, but then also, like, the technicality of it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did soccer for a little bit.
Soccer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
How
too
far
much.
did you take soccer?
Just till freshman year in high school.
Okay.
So then after that, I was doing my own thing in the gym, doing boxing even, not too much.
And so you didn't get a chance to necessarily, like, learn about lifting or movement or things like that in your sport career.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
As a sport. It was just strictly the field or like core movements.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
it.
it's funny too, because we even have a few teachers here. One of them teaches FIAD, and to hear what, like, the students get, even in the high school years, or if you decide to, go to college, what that looks like, you don't really learn a whole lot about how to move, what to eat, and all these good things. So you kind of figure it out on your own. So we've got the COVID years, we've got going through pregnancy, still moving around in the garage a little bit, and then talk to us a little bit about what life was like after having Claudette. I think for a lot of folks, that's the challenge: is new kid, new job, new city, new anything, and all of a sudden, like, everything gets thrown off, and it's really hard to have a fitness and health routine.
Yeah, I think I had great intentions in mind, and then when reality set in and I was letting the feelings dictate my actions, it threw me for a loop, and I wasn't prepared for how hard it actually got mentally. So it put me to the test in a good way of like, okay, where do I stand? How can I test my faith? How can I test what I know? And it really did do that. It kind of broke our world in a good way to like prove how strong we are mentally, physically, all the things. We were working out just in our garage. Like we kind of stuck with that. And it was 15, 20-minute workouts as much as we could. But then we would do that, but the eating habits weren't there. And so for us, it was kind of this entire, like, the big picture of it. It's a two-part thing, right? Like, you have your fitness goals, but you also need to back it up and fuel yourself properly. So that was kind of where the disconnect was. And it was honestly just a conviction for us of like, we trust that we've been given this body as a gift, our time as a gift, and we need to steward it properly. And we weren't doing that. So it was just a punch in the face, but really just like, hey, you say you believe this. It doesn't look like it in this area. What are you going to do about it? So slowly but surely changing the mindset of like not putting too much pressure on ourselves, but like knowing we can get back to a place where we once were before.
Yeah. Would you say there was like a specific moment, or was it more of just this gradual kind of trending in the wrong direction? Because for some people, it's kind of like, man, there was this moment where all of a sudden I realized I couldn't do what I wanted to do, didn't look the way I wanted to look, or things just weren't the way I wanted them to be. And others, it's like, man, I just didn't realize for 6 months, a year, 2 years, things had gotten away from us. And next thing you know, we woke up and we're like, is there anything like that for you all? Like, when was the moment of like that conviction of, I really want to change this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I definitely was more of like a holistic view, like Anna's saying, of there was a point where we were just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, we have I think Claudette was almost 1 at the time, and after she was born, we were making excuses like, oh, we have a newborn, we're gonna not maybe prioritize eating as much because we're losing sleep, we've got a newborn, we're not going to go to the gym because we got to take care of a newborn. But then when she turned 1, we're like, wait a minute,
it's been a year,
we can't use that excuse anymore. It's like we actually haven't changed since she was born.
And I think there was a lot of ups and downs too. Like in that year, it's not like we were doing nothing. Like we were going on walks, we were occasionally lifting, but it wasn't the consistency. It was like we would do really well and then we'd do really bad. I don't love those terms, but like success in our eyes we weren't consistent. And that to us was what success was just every day showing up in some manner instead of letting 3 days of good habits happen and then the rest of the 4 days of that week going off and doing whatever you felt like doing.
Yeah. I think that's so hard, especially for people just getting started on their fitness journey, or even still trying to figure it out. Is it's like, oh, if I put Monday through Friday or 4 days together and it's pretty good, and then I go enjoy the weekend, I'll be fine. And all of a sudden you realize like that will trend typically in the wrong direction. It's like, that's not sustainable. And so when you realize that, okay, we want to make this change, let's figure this thing out. What was your go-to strategies? I mean, obviously you reached out to us. Was there something in mind that you were like, we want to find a place that has a certain type of fitness or a certain type of community? Or what were the things that you were thinking about as you started to figure out how do we go about getting back into this routine?
I think we both knew we wanted CrossFit for sure, because we both did CrossFit earlier in our lives, and we knew we wanted the camaraderie, we wanted the close-knit community. I think what really drew us with you guys in particular was you guys offer the no commitment trials. And so I think that was really nice for us of, hey, we could come try this out, kind of see how we like it, see the community without making a commitment per se. I think the other thing with that, I think back to, I don't know if you do a phone call with everybody, but we had a really good phone call before we joined. And I think that the fact that I could speak to the owner of the gym was meant a lot, because, I think of Crunch Fitness or O2 Fitness, it's like you're just a number. But here I feel like you're actually a person and you're part of this community.
I remember that conversation. It's funny because everybody has different, like some people are like, I just want to text. And others like, I want to call. And so we respond to both. But I do remember you saying, oh, we enjoy fitness. I remember you saying Anna really likes a barbell. And you're like, we'll like CrossFit then, because, we get a chance to use those a lot. And so when you came through for that first free week trial and then settled in, what were some of the things that maybe you noticed just in the initial phase of coming to the gym and building that routine?
Well, I remember needing crutches, I think, my second day. That was, I think one of the big things that stuck out to me is Chelsea was my coach on my very first day. And one of the things that I remember was, I think she knew that this was like my first workout getting back into it. And she really made an emphasis of like, maybe let's do less reps, maybe let's scale it. And I think that showed me that you guys are more focused on the movement itself. Anyone of any fitness level or age can do this without, feeling like you need to go hard the whole time.
Yeah, it's such a delicate balance, especially when you're just getting back into a routine of like, you want to work out, so you sweat and feel like a challenge, but then like you still want to function the next day.
Yeah.
So those first couple of weeks, you're going to experience some soreness, like regardless of how much you pull back or not, but it's helpful to have some coaches help you out along the way.
Absolutely.
So how did it feel getting back into a class structure? Because you mentioned having Claudette and kind of working through some of that in terms of emotions and whatnot. How did it feel getting into a class setting and finding your fitness in that way?
Honestly, initially, it was kind of a struggle for me because I had worked out by myself for like years. Like I had not taken a class in probably 4 or 5 years. And it was like, I really enjoyed at one point working out by myself and it being something that it was like my time. And so initially that was actually kind of like hard to like, I mean, it sounds weird, but to share the space and like take coaching in a different way. Like I was coaching myself forever and then that fell off. And so I needed to almost like humble myself and know that I could ask for help and that it was well received and that you were actually there to help and come alongside rather than just like, tell me what I'm doing wrong, right? So previous class experiences, I needed to kind of put that away and experience it for what y'all were offering. And it was a completely different experience than I had before, in a good way, in the sense that it was like, what can you do today? What are you here to do? Give it your best and you're doing great. Like, so I really enjoyed that aspect, and slowly but surely it was something where I was like, okay, yeah, I can lean into this in a new way and appreciate it for what it is.
Sometimes we're our own worst critics, where it's like if you're coaching yourself or working out in the garage or you're by yourself, you can be very harsh on yourself. And all of a sudden you get into this aspect or this community and all of a sudden it's like, oh, somebody's telling me good job or keep going, or people are fist bumping each other. And it's interesting. Sometimes you're like, oh, okay, like there is more just to this than me working out by myself. And so you've been at it now for over a year, very consistent, 5:15 a.m., 6:30 a.m. What are some of the changes that you've noticed or you've experienced over the course of that year-long journey now?
I think one of the big ones for me is I think first starting changing the fitness journey, you could call it, was I was so focused on the results. But I think after doing this a year, I've noticed myself embracing the journey to get there and enjoying the waking up at 4:50 a.m. every morning is not easy, right? But when you think about what you're doing, it actually, once you start to enjoy the process rather than just focusing on the results, that's what I've noticed in my day-to-day life of not just going to the gym, but maybe it's at work. Hey, I don't want to put together a spreadsheet today, but it's the little moments like that once you learn to enjoy it, it can help shape your life day to
Yeah.
day.
It's interesting because we do usually get involved in some sort of health and fitness journey because of the results we're seeking, aesthetic, performance, whatever. We realize if we're not enjoying the process or the journey to get there, then it's not going to be as fulfilling at the end state.
Or you're not even going to make it.
We're not going to make it, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, how about you, Anna?
I think realizing and embracing that, but like going off of it, of like, it's a privilege to suffer, right? Like, it's a privilege to get to move our bodies, not something that we have to tell ourselves that we have to do. Like, it's something that we are able to do, and we should enjoy that and be thankful that we have a strong body that's able to do all these things, and really be grateful for that aspect of it, and knowing what this foundation then equips us to do other hard things in life. Of when something else comes up again that's hard in life, what are you going to do with it? This sets the tone for what you can achieve and what your mental capacity is and what your physical capacity is in all these different areas, and how you set goals, how you work towards them, how you keep promises to yourself. It lays a good foundation for how you're shaping your life.
Yeah, it's amazing how you don't notice all the mental changes that take place. I mean, you can start to see physical one getting stronger, maybe, body composition's changing, but you don't quite realize like, oh yeah, like I see myself more confidently, or something hard came up in life and I realize I can handle this. I can do it. I can focus on the process. I can focus on how this is a privilege. And those are the kind of quiet benefits, I think, of being part of a CrossFit gym or being part of any kind of fitness endeavor. And so when you start to think about the journey of where you're at and where you're excited to go, what are some of the things on your mind that you're excited to work towards over the next year?
Like skill wise?
Anything. It's open for whatever. So I always feel like as people get into the journey, they start to realize like, oh, like I'm building the processes and building the habits, and they start getting excited about things. Or they're like, I want to improve in this area, or I want to keep getting better here, or whatever that might be. Yeah. So anything for you all that stands out?
Love lifting heavy. So it's always like a numbers thing. But so I think that, and probably more skill based, like when I was doing things on my own, I wasn't doing the gymnastics because I didn't have that coaching and didn't know that. Like, to me, the more barbell stuff was easier to coach myself on. And so that's where I'm excited to work in that area. Like, that's something I'm like, okay, I need to just carve out time and do it, and not get, again, bogged down in the little growth, that I'm seeing. It's like, okay, no, that matters. Like 2 double unders, 4 double unders, like that is something, and it will eventually accumulate into
the
more.
Incremental growth is big. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd agree. Probably the skill based stuff. We both like lifting heavy, so that I don't want to say comes easy for us, but it's enjoyable. Whereas if you talk about gymnastics, you talk about handstand push-ups, that's where it becomes a little more of a challenge. Yeah, some of those things.
Oh yeah, it's fun to evolve and to grow in your fitness and what gets you excited and where you want to focus your time and energy. So I have a sense I know where these questions are going to go, but we like to ask folks when it comes to movements or even specific workouts that you really enjoy, that you're like, when you see that program, you're like, I can't miss that day. What are the things for you all that are those can't miss days or your favorite movements?
Yeah, I think heavy squat,
heavy bench. Yeah. Which was perfect for us to do the powerlifting meet not too long ago, where you got to test all the things with straight heavy bench, amazing. Squat, deadlift. Yeah.
I like a combination. Like, I like the bodyweight movements. I love burpees. Like, really? Yeah. I think they're fun. I think it's a fun way to push, because one day they can feel really hard, and the next day you're like, I'm cruising through these, or you feel that. So I like when a heavy barbell is mixed in with some bodyweight movements and stuff like that.
Classic CrossFit right there. Yeah. So we'll flip it. When you see a program, what's your least favorite thing when it comes to coming into the gym? Running?
anything.
True CrossFitter.
I think then like running and wall balls, that
Oh,
combination,
that's a tough
my legs are a
tough
little bit
combo.
tight the next day.
Funny enough, pokies or
Burpees.
box jumps, those are not. Yeah,
Yeah, I know those are tough.
enjoyable.
It's always interesting to hear the combinations that people come up with because it's been some of them have been surprising. But like, you like that movement? But that's what we love about CrossFit. Every day is a new day to test out some different combinations, different movements. You find things you like, find things you don't like. Helps you build from that mental capacity. But let's go back to before starting. I always like to ask people. People can be intimidated or be shy. They can be a little bit concerned about stepping into a gym setting. What would you say to somebody who's maybe a little intimidated, a little scared, or a little on the fence about jumping in and working on their health and fitness journey?
Yeah, I mean, I truly the hardest part is just showing up. I think you guys do a great job of trying to remove all the barriers. Like we talked about the free trial. There's truly no commitment other than you just walking through those doors. So that to me truly is the hardest part. I had to overcome the mental barrier getting up in the mornings of like the hardest part is rolling out of bed. Once you're out of bed, you're mentally like, I'm going. But that is the hardest part. And so as long as you can just show up, you guys are going to take care of whoever comes through those doors.
I would say like comparison is the thief of joy. Like you're on your own journey and the people here are here to support you and your little wins matter, and something that is hard eventually isn't going to be as hard. You just have to stick with it and trust that the process is going to work. Showing up is going to work, and remaining faithful to the promise that you've given yourself, or at least the goal that you have, will set yourself up for success.
I love that. So walking through the doors, knowing that folks will take care of you, make commitments to yourself, and then continually stamp it, saying like, yes, I'm following through on all these decisions, helps along that journey. Awesome getting to know both of you just a little bit more. Thanks so much for being on the podcast and being a part of the community here for over the last year and getting to see you both grow and see Claudette grow. It's been a lot of fun. So look forward to what the future holds.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.